Hey guys, what's going on? It's King Clutch here, and today, guys, we're back at the NBA 2K20. I hope you all have an amazing day. Everything's going well for you guys. Today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you all how to build D'Angelo Russell here in NBA 2K20. This build is a great overall build. It's a great offensive build. You're able to score at will with this build, guys. So I'm going to get right into this build and show you guys how exactly you can build D'Angelo Russell. Now, for the skill breakdown, I feel like there's a few you could possibly pick from, but I feel like there's one that is better than others. You could go with this one, this finishing and the shooting, but in reality, D'Lo isn't known for his finishing. He's more known for his shooting and his playmaking. So what I'm going to do is go with the shooting and the playmaking pie chart for this build. I feel like this build overall, then you can create a very good overall rounded, offensive rounded point guard build with this. And keep in mind, this is more of an offensive build. You're not going to be able to generally clamp people a lot with this build. Like, that's just how it. Defensive attributes aren't that good, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with the shooting and the playmaking pie chart. And now for this physical profile, I feel like there's really two you can pick from, and really it comes down to preference. You can either pick max speed or you can pick vertical and speed. It's, again, that's complete preference. I'm going to go vertical and agility. But in reality, it doesn't make too much of a difference. You could go either of them are great, really. But to me, the 4 difference in speed in Excel doesn't match up to the difference of an 11 in your vertical. That's just the way I look at it. With vertical, you know, it's hard to tell if it actually helps a lot. I feel like it does, you know, especially if you're shooting fades and things like that. Just jumping in general. I would imagine your vertical would help with it, but 2K kind of like hides how much your vertical actually has an impact on your player. So guys, we're going to go with the agility and the vertical pie chart for this build. Now for the potential, guys, for this build, I'm going to max pretty much everything you would on any guard build. Now what you can do is you can tweak these a little bit. We're going to do all those, this driving dunk, the driving layup, and the close shot, and then we're going to max out all of our shooting categories, every single one. And you can see no matter if you take, the only thing you can take down is 3-point shot, but you're not going to want to lower your shooting stats. Like that wouldn't make much sense at all. We're going to upgrade our ball handle and our pass accuracy. I know I said those backwards. I don't know why. And then along with our perimeter D, our lateral quickness, our steal, and then the 43 we're going to spend here on our defensive rebound. We have these 2 points left. I don't really, you can put these wherever. I've kind of messed with these to see if you can possibly get another badge anywhere, and it doesn't seem like you can, no matter how you mess with these. So really, you can throw them on whatever category you'd like. So this is what I would rock with for this build here, guys, for these attributes, giving us 4 finishing, 22 shooting, 19 playmaking, and 7 defensive badges. Now, body shape, again, doesn't matter. I'm going to go built, whatever you'd like. You could do, or, I mean, actually, I'll probably just go, I feel like solid is kind of what represents D'Lo, but in all reality, you can go with whatever body shape you'd like. And one quick thing about D'Lo, I feel like, I don't know if he's underrated. He was on the Lakers, got traded to the Nets, balled out with the Nets, went to the Warriors, then went back to the T-Wolves with Cat and everything, and obviously we didn't have a full, like, it was towards the end of the year. The T-Wolves were playing really bad, so we don't really know what would have happened if he would have been there earlier. I just think it's interesting, and obviously D'Lo, he's an all-star. He was an all-star in 2019. I feel like he's going to continue to be an extremely good guard in the league. Like, there's no way he's not going to. I know that was completely kind of off topic, but it was more just on D'Lo himself. Now for the height, guys, I'm going to go 6'5". D'Lo is actually listed as 6'5". I feel like for all point guards, though, 6'5" is a good height. You maybe could go 6'4", but I'm going to go 6'5". I feel like 6'5" is like the meta height for guards this year. So we're going to go with that. Now for the weight, guys, D'Angelo Russell is 193 pounds. But what you could do with this, the medium spot is, it looks like 195 pounds. If you go up to 197, you'll get a boost to your strength and not lose anything. I wouldn't suggest minimizing the weight, just because you might get pushed around a lot defensively. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump this down to 191. That way we're getting a +1 in our Excel. We're only losing 1 in our interior D, but we don't lose any strength. So I feel like 191 pounds is a good heavy medium, and it's really close to his legitimate weight. His real wingspan is 81.8 inches. The medium one for this, the middle one, is 81.6 inches, so that's really, really close. I'm not going to leave it there, though. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to minimize it a little bit because I want to get a boost to my ball handle and my shooting stats. Now, I feel like not minimizing it all the way is probably not the move, but it is a very good option because the way I look at it is if you're going to go down to 78.9, you might as well minimize it because you're getting those extra attributes for your shooting categories and your dribbling, and you're not losing any more steal. So in all retrospect, minimizing it for this build is a pretty good idea if you want to get those extra boosts to your shooting stats, because it's going to give you an 88 3-point and an 87 mid-range, along with an 87 ball handle, which is great. So I'm going to actually minimize this wingspan. But that's what you always want to look at when you're looking at the wingspan. Because as you guys can see here, I said earlier, 78.9 all the way down. There's no negatives. So if you're going to go 78.9, you might as well go all the way down. And that's just the way I look at it. And to me, that difference of 2 steal for this build, when you're more focusing on shooting and playmaking, is worth the lowest wingspan possible with a 77-inch wingspan. And now, guys, for the takeover, you have a plethora of options. You got 4 options. You got all the offensive takeovers for a guard. So it's more comes down to personal preference and how you want to play with this build. If I had some, really all of the, you could make a case for every single one of these takeovers and pick one and be fine. I'll just kind of go through them. Sharp would be a really, really good one if you're running with another guard, I feel like. And really, like, it would work extremely well. All of these would work. And it more comes down to your personal play style and preference. To be 100% honest, I feel like slashing takeover would work. I just don't know. You're not going to get contact dunks with this build. So I don't know how well the slashing takeover would work. That would probably be my last choice. I know the slashing takeover is the cheesiest takeover in the game this year, but with this build not having that high of a driving dunk statistic, it might not be worth it to pick slashing takeover, but the other 3 would be great because you'll be able to, with shot creating, you got to keep in mind that you're getting boost whenever you pass too. You can score anyway and you're getting something on your takeover for the shot creator. Like if you were to drive with the shot creating takeover, you're going to get more boost to your takeover meter instead of if you were to pick a spot-up shooter. But playmaking is also another good option. I feel like playmaking is the one I would probably go with for this build, but shot creating and spot-up shooting are also some great options. It really just, it's more personal preference. All of these are good for this build. I don't see really a bad takeover. So I'm just going to go with playmaking take for this build. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what we're going to get. We're all going to get a playmaking shot creator similar to D'Angelo Russell, Jamal Murray, and Derrick Rose. Now, I don't really think Derrick Rose should be in this just because he was more of a finisher, more of like a Russell Westbrook type player. He could obviously shoot, but, you know, driving was his main thing. So, guys, that's what we got for this build, the Playmaking Shot Creator. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the badges I would throw on this build. So, for the finishing badges for this build, I feel like Contact Finisher is a must. I'm only going to put it up to Silver. You could easily put it up to Gold, but I'm also going to put Consistent on here and Giant Slayer. But if you wanted, you could put Fancy Footwork, I guess, Slithery Finisher, or Relentless. Those are usually like the 6 badges I like to choose from. But Fancy Footwork's another good option. Consistent Finisher is good too, but if you'd want, you could take Consistent off, put Slithery on. It's personal preference. All of these badges I feel like are nice. You can do quite a few things with these. It comes down to whatever you'd like, but really I'm going to put Consistent, Fancy Footwork, and Contact Finisher on, but Slithery and Giant Slayer are also 2 really good options if you'd like to use those. I'll go into these defensive badges. I'm going to put Clamps on Gold, as well as I want to put Pick Dodger on Bronze, Pickpocket on Bronze. I want to put Intimidator on Silver. Now, again, that's how I kind of like to do these builds. And really, you could take Clamps and put it on Silver and put Intimidator on Gold, which is another good option. I feel like Intimidator overall is the best defensive badge. That's just my opinion. You just alter people's shots with it more than, I guess, Clamps. Like, obviously, they don't move when you have Clamps as much. But if you can play decent defense and, you know, keep your right stick up with Intimidator on Gold, you should be fine. And you can take Clamps down a little bit and put Pick Dodger up if you think you're going to be getting screened a lot with this build, but this is probably what I would do for these defensive badges. Now, guys, for these shooting badges, I'm going to put Quick Draw on Silver. Again, this is personal preference. Some people like it on Gold, some people like it on Hall of Fame, some people like it on Silver. I'm used to it on Silver, but again, putting it higher is definitely an option. You guys don't know, as I mentioned in previous videos, I hate Quick Draw. I just wish they'd let you, you know, pick your jump shot speed when you make your jump shot, or pick your jump shot. If you could just pick it then, it would be a lot easier. And I just feel like we wouldn't have to waste badge points on a badge to speed up our jump shot. I feel like it's kind of a waste. That's just how I feel about it. I feel like it is a kind of a waste of a badge to have. But guys, I'm going to put Range Extender on Gold. I'm going to put Difficult Shots on Gold. I want Deadeye on Gold as well. And then another badge I'd put on here, I'd put Catch and Shoot on Bronze at least, just to have it. And then I'd also put Hot Zone Hunter on Gold. I feel like Deep Fades would be good depending on who you're playing with and how you like to play the game. But actually, I'm going to put Range Extender up to Hall of Fame, Difficult Shots up to Hall of Fame, Deadeye up to Hall of Fame. And then I also want Green Machine on Silver. And then, actually, we'll go Green Machine on Gold. And then this other badge you could put on a multitude of things. But another good badge I think would be good for this build is you could put Corner Specialist on Deep Fades again, or Slippery Off Ball. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put Hot Zone Hunter up to Hall of Fame. And this is what I would do for these shooting badges for this D'Angelo Russell build. For the playmaking badges here, what I would do is I would, if you're running this build as your main point guard and nobody else has more playmaking slots than you, you would use floor general. I'm going to say you're going to run this build at the 1. Generally, depending on who you're playing with, unless you run 2 guards, 2 point guards, somebody else may have this I feel like no matter what you run, somebody needs to have floor general and Hall of Fame, but we're just going to put it on there for just in case you're not playing with someone else that doesn't have it. But I feel like handles for days is a necessity, quick first step is a necessity, space creator because you're going to be shooting a lot, so put that on silver. Stop and go tight handles and unpluckable all on bronze. And then if you're going playmaking takeover, I would actually put ankle breaker up to silver or maybe possibly higher. And and say you weren't the main point guard on your team, say you're running the 2, you wouldn't need floor general, you could put more of these badges on things that help you. Also, dimer would be a good option if you're not using floor general. That's usually what I like to do. If don't have floor general in my build, I'd like to at least have dimer on silver. When you pass, some other person has a better chance of making it because somebody else has floor general. So that's at least one badge you're giving to help out your teammates. But this is probably what I would do for these playmaking badges. Again, I wouldn't use ankle breaker unless you pick playmaking takeover. If you don't pick playmaking takeover, I would possibly add some downhill probably, and then probably upgrade space creator along with stop and go. But that's just my opinion. I'm going to leave ankle breaker on gold just because it's a playmaking takeover build. But this is what I would do for these playmaking badges for this D'Angelo Russell build, guys. If you guys want to see any other NBA players, NBA player builds in 2K20, please subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm going to be posting a lot more of these. I hope you guys do enjoy them. But anyways, guys, it's been King Clutch here. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out, guys. Thanks.